light, hit that light. No cap, no filter, we take flight. Saints on the rise, got that energy. Tune in to our podcast, feel that synergy. New Orleans pride, we never fall. Subscribe to the vibes, we gon' ball. Subscribe, hit that bell, join the hype train. No cap, no filter, we breaking every chain. In the heart of the city, Saints reign supreme. Live the dream, we living it clean. Yo, Bean Camara run that play. Crystal Lava flying, making waves every day. Take some heels, switch it up, always on the go. Cam joining the fans, putting on a show. Doing Mario with time, bringing that heat. Shaheen's got the speed, can't accept defeat. Subscribe, hit that bell, join the hype train. No cap, no filter, we breaking every chain. In the heart of the city, Saints reign supreme. Live the dream, we living it clean. So stay tuned. Don't miss this ride. With the Saints by our side, we take pride.
All right, what up, Who Dat Nation? This is No Cap, No Filter Saints. I'm your host, Marley G. Back at y'all to the episode. I got my main man, Brian, with me back at y'all from Saints Twitter. Man, how you doing, Brian?
Good, man. Bro, like, I wanted to come on last week, but I had the flu, and the flu was beating my ass, bro. So I'm still getting over it, man. But other than that, it feels good to be somewhat normal again.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. Just go ahead on and have your green tea ready for that flu, bro. It's a whole lot of stuff I know about them flus, bro. I be doing my little research. So if y'all about to, feeling a little under the weather, go ahead on and do y'all research about them home remedies, man. But let's go ahead on and get into it, man. It's a lot to talk about right now, man. We're gonna have to start off with the talk of the town right now. Kellen Moore. I already, dubbed him More Tutties. Make the Saints great again. Let's go ahead on and put 30 on him in the dome again. Before halftime, by halftime, let's get it, man. I'm excited, Brian. I ain't even much gonna lie, bro. I've been doing my research on the cat. I like him. I don't know if I'm just talking myself into that, but I'm feeling like that optimistic fan I once was, man. I'm feeling real, good about this hire that we're gonna have, forbidding anything just take a turn for the worse. But I've been doing my research on the cat. He's been doing pretty good everywhere he went. He's been putting up some decent numbers. He's been putting up some great numbers. Even have faced adversity. He's young. He's a guy that's not in the Saints building already that I kind of wanted. He's an offensive guy. I kind of wanted that. And just a breath of fresh air, I feel. I don't know if I'm just working myself up with that, just that fandom that just happened in the off season where you just try to look at the glass half full instead of half empty, and just any type of red flag, you just trying to see some type of positive in it. I personally wasn't down with the hire at first, just off the way he looked. I'll admit it. Off the way he looked, I went down with the hire. I was just one of them type of fans that I wanted a dominant figure as my head coach. But I just been looking around trying to see if anybody fit that mold that he fit and had success. And they got your Kevin O'Connells out here. They got your you ain't just got to be a tyrant like Sean or a Dan Campbell that's just rowdy and bravado. You got your other success stories. But overall, man, I'm tired of talking. I'm gonna go ahead on and give the floor to you, man. What's your overall thoughts on Kellen Moore being a new Saints head coach?
I'm gonna say it like this: I don't have a problem with Kellen Moore, the hire in and of itself. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I know enough about him outside of his offensive mind to sit down and say whether or not he's gonna succeed or fail. What I will say is that what we know about Kellen Moore is a positive. What we know is that he's a good offensive mind. He's a good offensive play caller. All of the things that you listed as to what's good about him. He's outside of the Saints organization, so it's gonna be some fresh eyes, some fresh ideas. That's all a positive. What I do not know scares the hell out of me. And that's, is he a culture builder? Is he a leader of men? Those are two things I don't know, and I can't go to the source in order to find out. Like, we can't go to Nick Sirianni and get a correct answer on that because he's going to want to prop up his guy. What we're going to find out is exactly why in certain situations he wasn't as successful as he could have been. For example, I know the situation in Dallas with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy essentially got rid of him, and it's not the first time it's happened. So it makes me question his leadership ability, or was he so much of a leader that Mike McCarthy felt threatened? I'm not sure which one. And I think that's what we need to find out about Kellen Moore. We know he can call plays. We know he can scheme up. We know he's a good offensive mind. Is he a leader and a culture builder? That's what we got to find out. Because if he's not, and he's the passive, I guess, too cool for school type of head coach, he might get his ass ate up in that locker room. So he needs to be able to have a stern voice in the locker room and be the leader. Otherwise, it could get dark real quick.
Mm. Leading up to this hire, the Saints can't talk to him until February 10th. Got the Super Bowl in New Orleans, ironically. He's in the Super Bowl. He's leading the offensive side of the ball when it comes to the Eagles. Me personally, I hope the Eagles put up like 35 on the Chiefs just to make me feel that much more better about the hire. I really hope they don't go out there and lay a dud on the offense. Damn what the Eagles do on defense. I'm really focused on what they do on offense. So hopefully the offense go out there and shine, because I damn sure don't want to see them go out there and lay a dud and then Saints Twitter just be in chaos. But for the most part, a lot of fans are just trying to, envision that Saints offense looking like the Eagles offense, the same way they were envisioning the Saints offense looking like a 49ers offense when we had got Clint Kubiak. What do you say to those fans envisioning, that Saquon Barkley season, that offensive line that they got, the way he's making Jalen Hurts look? They got weapons at tight end. They got weapons with Smith, AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert. The list goes on and on. What do you say about the fans who just getting very, very hyped, very, very excited, and probably, putting much more expectations on this guy back then he probably deserved to have, so early, given that the Saints have a very different roster?
I think the Clint Kubiak thing should have been basically a precursor of this. Like, haven't we been down this road before to where everybody's like, oh my God, I could just see how it doesn't work that way. Because what you don't have is Jalen Hurts. What you do not have is Saquon Barkley, and you don't have the receivers or the tight end or the offensive line. You do not have the players the Philadelphia Eagles have. Now, there are some things you can mimic. You can mimic the downfield speed of an A.J. Brown and of a Devontae Smith. You can mimic that because you have Shaheed and you have Olave. You can mimic that. What you cannot mimic is the tight ends because you don't have it. You can't mimic the offensive line. You're nowhere close. And a quarterback, is a whole nother ball game because Derek Carr can't duplicate what Jalen Hurts can do because if everything else breaks down, we've seen what happens when Derek Carr tries to run for it. Not very good. And of course, then there's the ultimate linchpin to the Philadelphia offense, which was Saquon Barkley. The Saints don't have that. Yes, I know about Alvin Kamara. Yes, I know about Kendre Miller. There's two dudes that have not proven they can stay healthy enough to even be considered what Saquon Barkley was. So now enter the idea of two things. One, you get you a Saquon Barkley, meaning that opens the door for the Saints to draft a guy like Ashton Genty. That would be one hell of a combination. And two, it depends on who the offensive coordinator is going to be, because how are you going to help Kellen develop the proper offense? There's a rumor going around, and it says that John Gruden could actually be the Saints offensive coordinator. I do not know that to be true, but it would not surprise me if it happened. That being said, that's not exactly instilling confidence that Kellen Moore will be able to duplicate what he did in Philly if John Gruden is on the staff. So for me, I'm going to sit back and wait because I told everybody last year, you better stop pretending that Clint Kubiak is some kind of savior. Nobody would listen because everybody was hyped about it looking like San Francisco. It didn't. It didn't at all. And even for those 2 weeks that was out there, San Francisco offense was never that explosive. That happened to be the perfect storm, and the Saints paid for it dearly. It reminded me of when Thanos snapped, and they said, well, what did it cost you? Everything.
Yeah, man. What this Gruden rumors about, is that kind of like ensuring that Derek Carr sticking around for sure?
It probably does, but I think Derek Carr is a tough situation for the Saints no matter what. Because if you cut him, You can't cut him early. You got to designate him a post June 1 cut. So it leads to the idea of if you do, you don't really save that much money. You label him a post June 1 cut. I want to say it saves you like $2 million or something like that, but you get rid of Derek Carr, which is addition by subtraction. On the flip side of that, you got to wait until June 1st in order to get any relief for him. So he's still around. Not to mention that, but it's like, do you keep Derek Carr and allow him to play under Kellen Moore? It was at a condition of Kellen Moore being hired. So it opens up more questions. Personally, I feel like this. If you're going to hire a young offensive mind and Kellen Moore, let that man pick his quarterback, no matter who it is. If it's Spence, go with Spence. If it's Jake, go with Jake. If it's drafting a quarterback, or if there's a free agent out there that he wants to work with, whatever the situation is, give that man the keys to the car and let him do whatever he wants to do with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm with. Let this man just pick his exact staff, pick his exact quarterback, and let the chips fall where they may. Sean came in, he did the exact same thing. He started kicking couches out the locker room. He started getting locker room cancers out the locker room. He started getting fan favorites out the locker room. And we didn't like it at first, but shoot, it sure paid off. We sure was in an NFC championship soon after he got hired. And the same type of vibes I was having for Sean at first, I was kind of having for Kellen Moore. When we first hired Sean, I ain't really know too much about him. He was just a younger guy. He just ain't seemed like he was just gonna be, have this type of leadership over men. But he proved me wrong. So hopefully, we could strike and hit lightning in a bottle again. Lord knows we need it, and Mickey Loomis damn sure know he need it. But with the rumors of a Gruden and a Kellen Moore, on the same staff helping out with the offense and Derek Carr, whatnot. You think that'll kind of level things out for the staff? Like, he probably don't have this type of bravado with him, but you got John Gruden for that, and that can in turn help out Derek Carr, and Derek Carr will be familiar and be comfortable. Do you see a path
because
to
Derek
success?
Carr can't be fixed.
Oh, okay.
Derek Carr can't be fixed, and that's just the reality of it. And the reason why I know Derek Carr can't be fixed is because Derek Carr told me Derek Carr can't be fixed. I posted it a while ago, man. It was a video clip from the Saints off season. And it was Derek Carr speaking about how many offensive coaching staffs he's been under since he's been in the NFL. And he was very candid, because in that interview, he said, one offensive coordinator will tell you to do it this way. Another coordinator will tell you to do it that way. Well, that's two coordinators that you're mentioning. Derek Carr has had like 9. You can't fix 9 coordinators because Derek Carr told you, I got 9 voices in my head. That's 9 different people telling me when the ball is snapped exactly what to do and how to do it. You can't fix that because you can't, because it becomes a second nature to you. So you can't undo it. If Clint Kubiak told me to do it this way, and now Kellen Moore and John Gruden are telling me to do it a different way, at some point when the pressure is on, when it's 4th and 13, and when it's 3rd and 13, and I need to make a critical play, I have all of that processing in my head on exactly what to do and how to do it, and I got 9 different people telling me in my head at that time, this is how you're supposed to do it. You can't fix that. And that's why Derek Carr will never be able to be the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, because that's too many voices in your head telling you on 3rd and 13, go that post corner route. It's going to be there. Because in his head, he heard go the post corner route. But the out route, to the sticks was the one that was open. But he didn't listen to that because over and over and over again, he's been taught through that post corner. And that's why Derek Carr can't be fixed. So that John Gruden can't fix that. Kellen Moore can't fix that. You need a quarterback that hasn't happened to. And Derek Carr won't be that. So and not to mention that, but historically speaking, Derek Carr has struggled the first year in the system every single time. The numbers are right there for you. So I don't think Derek Carr can be fixed. I don't think Kellen Moore can fix him. I don't think John Gruden can fix him. I think it's going to take too long to implement him in that system. And by that time, you're looking at another 5-12 season.
Yeah. And the thing with me is I like to go ahead on and, just go ahead on and get the new era started quickly. Like, why waste another year with Chris Olave, and Derek Carr, when Derek Carr gonna be out the building next year for sure, and then he gonna just grab his guy. Like, just go ahead on and grab the guy a year earlier, and let that kind of chemistry get to developing. That's what I want to see. It's been a lot of different talks about a lot of different quarterbacks, possibly falling to the Saints It's been Jackson Dart. It's been your boy Kyle McCord. What's your chances on us drafting a quarterback in this draft?
I think the smart move would be the Saints at 9, picking your playmaker. Pick your Ashton Dempsey, pick your T-Mac, pick your playmaker. And then in the second round, go get your quarterback. Trade back up into the first round if you feel like you need that extra 5th year and get your quarterback. To me, that's the best possible outcome for the Saints. Now, I would rather not see them trade back into the first round, but if you feel that strongly about Kyle McCord and you feel like you want to get him in a later round so you can have that 5th year, then go for it. Because now you got Genty, who's your playmaker moving forward. That's your Saquon. Everybody want to run the Philly offense. There's your Saquon. Now you need your trigger puller. You need your signal caller. If that's Kyle McCord, go get him. Don't wait. Go trade up into the late part of the first round. Trade up into the second round if you want to get him. Do what you have to do to get your quarterback. And now what you have is your quarterback of the future and your running back of the future, and you can build from there. You still got Olave. That's still a young guy that can potentially be a good number 2. You got your number 3 and Rashid Shaheed. You can draft yourself in the 3rd round a big body wide receiver because there are plenty of them in this draft. You can rebuild the offensive line in the 3rd round. You got
B. I think you cut out, B.
Yeah, you can hear me, fam? Are we good?
Yeah, the last thing I heard you say you could build your offensive line in the mid round.
I'm sorry about that, bro. I had a phone call come through as we doing this. But yeah, you build your offensive line because you have the depth pieces. The Saints were at their best when they were taking 3rd and 4th round offensive linemen and grooming them into Pro Bowl picks. I think the first couple of picks in the draft should be give Kellen Moore what he needs to succeed. Like if my perfect draft, my first 3 or 4 picks would be picking Genty, picking Kyle McCord, taking a big body wide receiver, and then getting yourself a cornerback that can play on the outside. That's my first 4 picks. You got a first, you got a second, you got 2/3. Now you build up your depth in your offensive line. Because you have the skill players that you need to be able to put up points.
Okay, I'm liking that. I'm liking that vision right there, man. With Kellen Moore coming, bro, I hope that he damn sure go that route. Yeah, because if we do get Genty, damn sure gonna need an offensive line to block for him when he running that ball, especially in between the lines. I damn sure feel like we could use a guard or maybe 2. You know, I was kind of getting a little bit high on Cesar Ruiz when his second year he kind of bounced back. But now I'm just feeling like he's just a guy now. Like he just a steady Eddie player. He gonna be decent. Some weeks he ain't even much going. He gonna be below average. But I don't think he gonna ever just be some type of Pro Bowler for us. But I could be wrong. I've been proven wrong a lot with some of these players. So who knows? We're gonna have to see though, bro. And this new offense that Kellen Moore bringing, I'm kind of excited to see it unfold. You know, he already stated that he's not impressed with the quarterback room. So I'm guessing that's including Snake. So he probably gonna have to just go ahead on and get his guy. But it would have been nice to see him give a shot with Snake to see what they could, formulate together. What's your thoughts on that? Are you just kind of like, that
if he want a quarterback, go get him.
Okay.
That's all it is to it. I have no problem with that because look, I know Spencer has potential, but if that ain't Kellen's guy and you hiring Kellen, you hiring for a reason. Let him do whatever he want to do. If Snake just so happens to beat him out, then you gotta again you building around a 5th round contract. I'm okay with that. If Snake can't beat him out, then that was on him because you've been in the NFL for a year now. So I'm perfectly fine with that. I just want to see Kellen get all the tools he needs to be successful. Whatever it takes for that to happen, I'm all for it. So give him his quarterback, give him his running back. I mean, at this point, if you think about it, it might be best to draft a running back first because you get Ashton Genty, you put him with Kamara and Kendra Miller. That's a good stable of running backs for you to be able to say, you know what? Now we can focus on the run game. As you stated, Cesar Reed's going to be hit or miss. Trevor Penning going to be hit or miss. You got to figure out left guard as well. And left tackle, you got Fuaga, so you might be okay there in his second year. That being said, you still got some holes to fill along the offensive line. Go for it. but do it in the later part of the draft. Try to, maybe you're lucky enough to sign a offensive guard on a 1-year deal that's a veteran. Maybe you're lucky to do that. But this won't be fixed in an off season. The Saints ain't about to hit another 2017 draft and be able to say they hit on all their picks. That's not about to happen. What you want to do is, take as many bites of the apple as you can and hope that you can hit on the majority of your picks. I think Ashton Genty is a surefire pick. Might as well take him.
Yeah, that's definitely a blue chip guy. Right now, it's a lot of festivities going on in the city right now. They hosting the Super Bowl. A lot of the players, they are, got a lot of media out there. They're speaking with a lot of these platforms and media outlets. And, a couple of our locker room leaders, they've been making some headlines. You had Cam Jordan. He stated that, injuries was the only thing that really kept them back this year. Other than that, they're a championship caliber team. They could go for it all. And then you got Demario Davis. He said he feel like the Saints are a team that's on the cusp of thing. They just right on the cusp. Basically saying a lot of the stuff that Mickey Loomis been said that Mickey Loomis get, a lot of crap for. What do you feel about the speakings of the locker room leaders getting on national media and being so high about their team with the New Orleans Saints as far as the roster concerned, and they don't even know how things going to be with the head coach yet?
That's exactly why I want the asses off the team, because clearly either it's one of two things: either you're delusional or you have CTE, and it could be both. So if that's the situation, I want them gone. I want DeMario gone. I want Cam gone. I want Honey Badger gone. I want Jawan Johnson gone. I want all of these cats gone, because clearly you're not self-aware enough to look around the locker room and see y'all don't have it. And that's a problem for me. Now, do I expect them to go out there and trash their teammates? Absolutely not. But don't lie to me either. Don't go out there and tell me y'all on the cusp. On the cusp of what? Because you're closer to getting the first pick in the draft than you are the 32nd pick in the first round. Stop playing with my intelligence by telling me y'all close, because y'all not. And that's what this season revealed. You're not as close as you think you are. And that is a problem, because them talking like that is an issue for me. It's going to be an issue for me. You're not close. And the reason why I know you're not close, because you can't stay healthy enough to be close. And even if all things were equal and you stayed healthy, y'all still don't have the talent to compete with the rest of the teams in the NFC. You just don't have it. Look, when you look at Philly, like let's just think of the playoffs. Let's think about the teams that were in the playoffs outside of possibly Tampa Bay, because that's a team in which you could say, you know what, we're not that far from them. But when you think about everything Tampa lost, that's the problem. Like the Saints are right now tied for last place in the division. Because, of course, you look at Carolina, and the reason why I say tied for last place, Carolina may be last, but I believe their future is better than the Saints. That's why I say the Saints are tied for last place. Michael Penix in Atlanta are coming. Tampa Bay just won a division and made the playoffs. You're not there. So how you going to be a contender team in the NFC if you can't even contend in your damn division? A division that was one of the worst in football. That's why I want DeMario Davis and Cam Jordan and all them gone. Alvin Kamara as well. If I was GM and I had my wish, a lot of the so-called favorites would be out of here. And I wouldn't give a damn about the salary cap. Alvin would be gone. Cam would be gone. DeMario would be gone. Badger gone. I don't care that they're locker room leaders. I don't care that they're, local favorites. I do not care. They'd be gone. And I wish there was a way they would still be gone.
Yeah, man, you always said, man, you a fan of the logo on the helmet, not the name on the jersey. But yeah, man, those words that they said, being a competitive, you kind of expect it, but it's kind of like a toxic ex just, telling you stuff to gaslight you when you know the real, the reality of what's going on, but they just trying to gaslight you and just give you all these, alibis and stuff. But man, you speak on health. You speak on health, being a reason and the excuse. And yeah, man, we fought from the teams in the playoffs. They got blown out. The Vikings, they got blown out. We fought from them. We fought from the Commanders. They got blown out. We fought from the teams that got blown out in the playoffs, let alone the teams in our division. That's kind of like, looking like they're a couple of steps ahead of us. But, speaking of health, I always was saying, man, I'm thinking the Saints got some bad karma. They got like a hex on them, like something going on, bro. This can't be no coincidence. I always been saying that, and I was like, man, it might be some bad karma from that damn scandal that the Saints had been caught up in. Now that scandal has starting to rear its ugly head again, and it's back in the media, bro. But I want to get your take on the whole ordeal with the scandal that's going on, and let me know, do you think that could, heavily sway Kellen Moore, more tutties, his decision on even coming to New Orleans, because nothing is in black and white yet.
Well, as far as what took place, I think it's absolutely disgusting, and I think the Saints should have been heavily penalized for it. However, Roger Goodell has already made it clear he don't give a damn. So if he coming out and saying he don't care, nothing ain't gonna happen. I know there's some, one call it that basically taking the Saints.
You cutting out a little B.
Won't be me.
You was cutting out a little bit. Yeah, you probably rolling through some tunnel or some mountains or something. Now you cutting out a little bit. Just leave out and come back.
Yeah.
Well, now you sounding good right now.
I bet. I'm tunnel traveling, bro. All right, I'm good. All right, bet. I'm back up. Yeah, man. My whole point was it's like there's some in the local media that are taking the Saints to task for their role in it, and that's good for them. I just won't. And the reason why I won't is because Roger Goodell said he don't give a damn. So I'm not going to spend a second of my time harping on why the Saints should be penalized when Roger Goodell has already made it clear he's not interested in penalizing the Saints. I'm at this point, my hands are, I wash my hands of it. I have nothing more to add to it. As far as whether or not it would turn Kellen Moore off, it should, but I'm not sure that it will. Because again, the commissioner has already said, I'm not penalizing the Saints. So if the commissioner is like, ain't no penalties, it ain't like the Saints about to lose a draft pick. It's not like the Saints are going to have to be forced to sell the team or nothing like that. Nothing is going to happen. So if nothing ain't going to happen, Kellen Moore really doesn't have a reason to be like, I don't want to coach them now. He ain't no reason to. He might as well take the job and keep it moving. Now, should he do that, I applaud him for it.
And that's crazy because just imagine Kellen Moore. He probably don't know nothing of this until now. And it's Super Bowl media week and all that. He probably just hearing about all this. And it remind me of that Goofy meme where you got Goofy up in the house and it's dirty with that female. And you're like, damn, bitch, you living like this? It's like, man, he like, man, what the hell I signed up for? But yeah, man, shoot. Besides the fact that this ain't gonna be no overnight miracle working thing. Like this gonna take some patience. This gonna take some time. So for all the Saints fans that just gonna think we just gonna go from worst to first in a matter of a year, you got to pump your brakes on that. Like just be patient with the guy. Just this ain't the same roster of old. Like this ain't that same roster Dennis Allen inherited. Like I don't care what nobody say. That the defense alone ain't the same. The defense alone, like it was times I'm looking at the defense like, damn, boy, we ain't got no pass rush. We can't stop the run. Quarterbacks back there doing their taxes. The safeties ain't shit. They ain't making no plays. You got Alante Taylor, he hit or miss. Marshawn Lattimore is looking like he just injured or he washed up. You got the Commanders fans. Now that they got him, they reminded me of Saints fans when we got Brandon Brown. I'm like, man, what the hell is this? But it's just looking bad, bro. The Saints defense looking bad. Meanwhile, you got Trey Hendrickson and Zach Bond nominated for Defensive Player of the Year. That's crazy.
But that's why I was saying they're not close, fam. It's the idea when you think about it like this. The Pro Bowl I know is a popularity contest, but it's damn near like anybody can make the Pro Bowl these days. The Saints have 2 Pro Bowl players. One, they just got in Eric McCoy. He was voted a Pro Bowl alternate because nobody else is going. So it's and that. Let's be honest, Eric McCoy did not deserve that because Eric McCoy might have played 6 games this entire year. He does not deserve to be a Pro Bowler based on this season. So, but they invited him anyway. So he's gonna have Pro Bowler next to his name, although we know damn well he don't deserve that spot. And of course, there was a special team player. I want to say it might have been J.T. Gray. That's the only 2 players on the Saints 53-man roster that were considered to be Pro Bowl players. That's exactly why the Saints they can't tell me, oh, we on the cusp. On the cusp talent. You're not there. And it's exactly what you said. Chase Young, I wouldn't mind coming back on the 1 year deal. Yeah, because ain't nobody giving you 1 year, $13 million. Of course you would like to come back. Demario Davis, I could play another 3 years because ain't nobody gonna be dumb enough to give you a 3 year contract. Cam Jordan, I ain't getting traded. I'm a Saint for life because you know damn well there ain't nobody out there that wants you. So for me, it's easy for the old heads to say that because y'all understand this is where y'all bread is buttered. But when you look at the Saints roster, you realize they are so like Detroit had a reason to say, man, injuries might have stopped us from making the Super Bowl. The Saints can't say that.
Yeah, they had a ton of injuries and they were still producing. Had a good record too. But we got 14 people up in here right now watching. I ask that you hit the like button. Shout out to Brian. This man is on at work right now and he's still coming through dropping these gems for y'all. Hoping y'all like the stream. A lot of people in the comments saying Brian, he on fire. Brian, he cooking, he on it. So you're getting a lot of love, Brian. You appreciate it. If y'all like the stream, go ahead on and hit the like button. If you not subscribed, go ahead on and subscribe. And if you got any questions for Brian, go ahead on and put them down in the chat below. We got Justin Cash. He always coming with the questions. Shout out to him. Justin says, who should the Saints hire for defensive coordinator?
Man, to be honest, I'm not really sure. Because at this late in the game, like whoever the defensive coordinator is, more likely than not, if let's say Kellen Moore signs a 5-year contract, whoever is the defensive coordinator year 1 will not be the defensive coordinator year 5. That's not going to happen because it's so late in the process that you're struggling to find who you really want. So he's not going to have a Vic Fangio that's going to be able to dial it up on the other end. My guess is that it'll be Staley from the 49ers, former Charger coach. It might be Wink Martindale from the college ranks. It's going to be somebody like that. It's going to be somebody that's going to be here year 1, year 2 to help build it, and then they're going to be gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. And that's the kind of downside of when you just trying to hire these people on these staffs that's, in the Super Bowl or deep in the playoffs. You got to, you kind of like putting all your eggs into one basket. You is, but you not, because we still got other coaching candidates. We ain't tell them no yet, but at the same time, they already know what's up. So it's like that's putting a hold on getting all these other things moving. Until we sign Kellen Moore, he ain't gonna be able to just go out and go get his exact staff that he want to. He gonna be able to cherry pick a few of things here and there. But for the most part, a lot of guys they already solidified where they at. Now, hopefully, we could get some people from Philadelphia and just kind of roach off their success. But man, when I wouldn't give for,
I'm afraid some of the names he gonna pick from Philadelphia gonna be the problem. Like I have a feeling he's gonna pick Nussmeier, and if you pick Nussmeier, does that put pressure on you next year when Nuss from LSU is available for the Saints to draft him? Because if you look at the quarterbacks that the Saints have, the quarterbacks that have come out of LSU, Nuss ain't really exactly going to instill the same confidence as Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels. So for me, it's like it's the worst of the 3. So will the Saints feel pressure to draft him? I hope not. But I feel like Nuss going to be his quarterback coach.
Yeah, man. We got some more Saints media, Saints legends. They got Drew Brees and Reggie Bush talking about being coaches. A lot of fans always just had this fixation with having Drew Brees be the head coach or the quarterback coach or the offensive coordinator. Can you see that even happening? And if it did happen, do you think they will for sure, bar none, just be coaching with the Saints?
I don't think it's going to be with the Saints, but I can see Drew doing it because I've seen Drew do it. Like, people forget the year of the Bounty Gate. The Saints went like 7-9 that year. They didn't have a head coach. They didn't have an offensive coordinator, and they didn't have an offensive line coach because they had to do a lot of shuffling around. So Aaron Cromer was like the head coach, to like the assistant to the assistant. Pete Carmichael was there, but that's because he was just there in name only. Drew ran that offense, and the Saints still put up big numbers. So do I think Drew can be an offensive coordinator? Absolutely, I think he can. And I think he'd be fairly successful at it as well. I just don't think it's going to happen in New Orleans.
Yeah, we got one crazy who that said would love Breeze to be at least a quarterback coach. Yeah, man. I just think we just be wanting the stars to align with a lot of LSU players, a lot of Saints legends, sons and grandsons, and we just be wanting that to just come full circle. But this ain't the Disney Channel. A lot of that stuff just ain't gonna happen like that. But if it does, shoot, it'll be pretty cool to see Drew Brees on that staff. Once again, if y'all got any questions for Brian, go ahead and put them questions down in the comment section, and we'll get to your question as soon as possible. And so if y'all got any questions for the guy, man, go ahead on and put them questions down in the chat right now, and then we're gonna get to it as soon as possible. We're gonna start firing off all the questions for him right now. But yeah, man, it's a lot to work on, bro. But one thing that I think we for sure need to do in the first round is go offense. Like that's just my whole thing. Like Will Johnson, he would be a nice pick, but that cornerback position is so hit or miss, and it's so ticky tack. But I do think he's going to be a nice corner in the league from what I've been hearing about him and from what I've been seeing. I don't really watch college like that. I just watch the NFL. But I think we just need to go offense. Let Kellen Moore, let him get his toy, let him get his playmaker, and we just try to build around that. We just need playmakers on offense. Like Rashid, we got Olave. Both of them are kind of similar. We need a playmaker that could do it all. We need a wide receiver one, like what his name is, Josh Jacobs say. We need a wide receiver one. But not only that, if Taysom be as hurt as we think he is, or what some people think he is, sure, we're going to need people to fill his shoes, because you got him trying to fill 6, 7, 8 shoes. So we're going to need some guys that are going to get up in here and be a playmaker at their natural position. Jawan Johnson, a lot of people are not high on him. Like, can we get a Tyler Warren? Like Ashton Gentry, like you had mentioned. We just need to go offense for sure at number 9, to me personally. Now, if we do go defense, I wouldn't mind a Mason Graham, because I just think he could wreck a whole game. What's your thoughts on, do you don't think it matter, or do you think it should for sure be offense?
No, I think the reason why I think the Saints, not only should their first pick be offense, I think their first couple of picks, I think out of their first 4 picks, 3 out of their first 4 should be offensive-minded players, because the one thing we know about Kellen, again, is that he's a good offensive mind. So, in essence, you're probably going to have to win shootouts next year. What better way to put yourself in a position to win a shootout, or at least compete in a shootout, is to have the weapons in order to do it. And right now, the Saints don't have that. You don't have a tight end. Foster Moreau is not going to be, one of those dudes that you look at and be like, damn, people better watch out for Foster Moreau. That ain't happening. You got Shaheed, stays injured. You got Olave, stays injured. And if Derek Carr is the quarterback, Olave is probably not going to want to play in New Orleans, because every year we know how that ends with Olave and Carr. So, in my mind, you get yourself an Ashton Gentry, you draft yourself a big body wide receiver, you get your signal caller at quarterback, unless you really believe in Spencer Rattler. And in that case, then you might want to look at possibly going offensive line in the second round. So whatever you need to do, you build up your offense first, because you're gonna have to compete in shootouts. As we spoke a minute ago, that defense is horrible. They ain't stopping nothing and nobody. So you better be able to put up points. And if the Saints can, then that puts them in a better position to even try to win games. If they can't, the defense will never be good enough to stop somebody and win you a game. Might as well go offense.
Exactly. That's why I just hope we could just get a quarterback and just hit. Like, if we could get a Kyle McCord in that second round, so be it. If we could get a Jackson Dart, I know a lot of people not high on Jackson Dart. I know it. But at the same time, if that man, Kellen Moore, sees something in Jackson Dart, the same way Sean Payton seen something in Bo Nix, if he feel like he could win with him, then, man, let him go ahead on and build him up. At the end of the day, dog, we don't know how none of these players gonna turn out. I didn't think Jalen Hurts was gonna turn out like the way he is. I didn't think Bryce Young was gonna have the second half of the season he had. Bryce Young was shocking me. I wrote that man off, Brian. I wrote him off. I wrote him off, bro.
It's amazing what happens when you get a good coach.
That's what I'm saying. So if we do get a Jackson Dart, man, let the new era begin. Like, one thing about me, I get excited for the unknown. If I got a new head coach and I got a new quarterback, I'm getting excited, because it's that off chance on at least one of them might hit. If we don't hit on the quarterback and the head coach hit, okay, we good for the future. If we hit on the quarterback but we not so sold on the head coach, we good for the future.
Yeah.
If you hit both of them, that's like lightning in a bottle. We did it one time. It wasn't a guy that we drafted, but it was a guy that we didn't think was going to turn out the way he did at legendary status. So I'm with everything More Tutties want to do. Whatever he want to do, let him get the keys to the whip, let him drive the ship, and I'm ready to roll. Like, I'm ready to be that optimistic fan. I'm ready to go to the games again. I'm ready to see us put up 30 by halftime again. I'm ready to have everybody be in harmony again, and all the fans kind of like in unison, liking the quarterback and the head coach instead of just being at each other's throats about it. Like, I'm ready for all that, bro. And I just hope it works. It gotta work. And if it don't work, then shoot, everybody feel like we ain't gonna be good for 2 years anyway until that 2027 salary cap kick in. So it is what it is. But I'm really hoping it worked, bro.
Me too, bro. Like, I mean, for as much as I mean, the reason why I was so hard on the Dennis Allen regime is because we needed change. Now we're getting that. If Kellen Moore comes in, at least he has a clean slate to be able to say, you know what, we don't know what it's going to be. We know what it was going to be with Dennis Allen. We watched that man fail already. We knew it was more likely that he would fail than succeed. And then as he's failing, he kept telling us, it's not my fault. Yes, it is. So if Kellen Moore fails, there's a reason why. We know that Kellen Moore is starting from a different starting point than Dennis Allen was. Kellen Moore is starting from scratch. He don't have salary cap. He's got to build through the draft. He doesn't have a talented roster. So we understand how difficult it's going to be moving forward. Dennis Allen didn't have those problems. So for me, I'm gonna give Kellen Moore every opportunity to win, even if he doesn't. If the first season is 5-12, I can live with that because I already know what he's working with. But by year 2, I'm expecting to see drastic improvement.
We got one crazy who that says would love to have the halfback from Boise State, but what we draft him with Kamara and Miller on the roster. Well, shoot, we had Pierre Thomas, we had Reggie Bush, and we had, I believe, Mike Bell on the roster, and we went to the NFC Championship. One thing I know, if you got a good running game, 2-headed monster, 3-headed monster, that's going to be a load off the quarterback's back, and I think it'll damn sure help, but you damn sure need the offensive line. What do you think about the question, Brian?
I think the problem with the question is not that it's a bad question. It's the idea when you think about who you're talking about, the answer is already right there. Alvin Kamara, as for a running back up in age, has not proven he can stay healthy. Kendre Miller has never proven he can stay healthy. Kendre gonna flash and then he gonna miss 12 weeks. So if that's the situation, it's not even like you want an Ashton Genty. You need Ashton Genty. It's a position of need. It's not a position of whether or not we should or shouldn't. They're gonna have to address running back because Alvin is old and can't stay healthy. Kendre can never stay healthy. They gotta address it.
Yeah, man. If y'all got any questions for Brian, go ahead on and put your questions down in the chat below. We're gonna get to it as soon as possible. We got 18 people up in here currently watching. Go ahead on and hit the like button. Go ahead on and subscribe if you're not subscribed and you like the channel, man. Yeah, man. I'm playing out a whole different scenarios in my head. You know it's getting good when you that type of fan and it's that off season and your team on Cancun, 1, 2, 3 Cancun right now, and you just looking at highlights of quarterbacks and you looking at highlights of wide receivers. It's that time of the year again, bro, and you just pitching out all the scenarios that can happen for success. And right now, shoot, man, I'm psyching myself up, Brian. I ain't gonna lie, I'm psyching myself up. Like if more Tutties could come up in here and just solidify his name, and then we just be on the right track again. At least just get the offense right, and he just gonna have to figure out who his defensive coordinator gonna be and get that defense right. I'm good. I'm not expecting no season where we win a division. I'm not expecting no season where we go into the playoffs. But if we could get a good 7 wins, I'm good with that. Especially if that seven wins be some quality wins in it, and it be fun. Like, let it be fun. Let it be some offense going on the board. Let us put some belt to ass. Let us be some quality competition. And, for God's sakes, let us stay healthy. Like, I don't want that injury excuse no more. I don't want that what coulda, woulda, shoulda stuff going on. I just want to see what we could do. And if not, if we don't get healthy, I didn't see Kellen Moore. He didn't play with Cooper Rush. I didn't see Kellen Moore. He didn't play with Andy Dalton. Like, those seasons where the Cowboys was leading the league in touchdowns and all that, they weren't really just healthy. So he had faced adversity. Like I'm liking what I've been hearing from the guy, man.
I mean, again, I don't doubt his ability to be an offensive play caller. I just want to see what happens when he has to be the leader of the team and not just the offensive coordinator. And again, it's crazy how similar of a projection this is to when Sean Payton was hired, right? It's the idea of, he spent time in the NFC East. And of course, he also spent time, as an offensive coordinator in those positions. Sean started with Philadelphia, went on to the Giants, moved on to Bill Parcells and the Dallas Cowboys. Kellen Moore, very similar to where he started off with. I want to say he started off in, of course, as a player in the league, but he also went over he was with the Dallas Cowboys. Now he's with Philadelphia, so he's bounced around a little bit. Some of the same destinations. Both of them young, offensive-minded coaches. I just need to be able to see if he can be the leader. Sean Payton had a mentor. Who's Kellen Moore's mentor? And, it's going to be one of those things to where Kellen Moore's going to have to find out why the Saints haven't been successful. Mm-hmm. What is the reason why that is? Is it Derek Carr? Is it Mickey Loomis? Is it the health issues? He needs to figure out what it is and correct those problems. If he can, then it's a good start. If he can't, it's 5-12 next year, and we'll be facing the Dennis Allen situation all over again.
Yeah, man, we got T Dirty in the comment section. Shout out to T Dirty, always leaving some funny comment. Got him saying Kendrick in and out like the hokey pokey. And man, shout out to T Dirty, man. He just hit 1,000 subscribers, man. That man be having some good content, man. If y'all like Saints content, especially funny Saints content, go follow T Dirty, man. He a good dude. We got one crazy who that says Brian doesn't hold back. Shit's too funny. We got Justin Cash with another question. Says thoughts on T-Mac.
I mean, I would love it. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I feel like if you're going to draft at 9, pick an instant playmaker. If it's Aston Genty, cool. If it's T-Mac, I'm good with it. What I would hate to see the Saints do is draft Will Campbell in the first round. That would bother the hell out of me.
Okay. We got 19 people up in here currently watching. Go ahead on and hit the like button. Go ahead on and put y'all comments in the comment section below. We're going to get to it as soon as possible. We got 504 Cole says, B, do you think it's possible to put a decent roster together and win the NFC South in Kellen Moore's first year?
Do I think it's possible? Yeah. Do I think it's likely to happen? No. Because I think the Saints are too far behind the 8 ball. We start off with Tampa. Tampa not getting no worse. They're going to improve because, of course, they got to start with a new offensive system, but they're going to improve because they have a lot of what the Saints don't have in place already. They just have to add to it. Atlanta is going to improve. They have a lot of things in place already. They got Bijan Robinson. They got the Drake London. They got Michael Penix Jr. So they have their big 3 already. They just got to build around it. Again, Carolina. We saw Carolina coming on, and what Dave Canales was able to do with Bryce Young. So we see that happening. The Saints are the one team in the division that, as of right now, do not have a coach, do not have a quarterback, and do not have a talented roster. And you don't even have the money to improve. So the Saints have to bet that they can hit like a 2017 draft all over again. And that shit has happened twice in the history of NFL. Saints just happen to be lucky enough to be the team that it happened to. And I don't know if they can improve that much this offseason to say that they can win it. I think it's unlikely, but it's possible. It ain't gonna be easy though.
Got a new viewer up in here. I ain't never seen him up in here, but I be seeing him on Saints Twitter. We got Pablo Escobar with a question for you.
Oh, that's my dog Mace, man. What's good, fam?
He says, what does that say about Derek Carr being MIA while Spence Rattler and Drew Brees talking up the city?
Derek Carr moved back to California. Like I'm not just saying that. He actually physically bought what he called his dream house. His family has moved to California. He will be there for the foreseeable future. He is no longer a New Orleans resident in any capacity. He might own an apartment in New Orleans. He might still have the ability to say I own property there, but Derek Carr does not live in New Orleans anymore. He moved. And he's perfectly fine with telling anybody willing to listen, he moved. California is and that has been the problem with Derek Carr the entire time. He's never embraced New Orleans, and he wants to know why New Orleans don't love him. Well, that's why.
Meanwhile, you got Jameis all around the city doing medias, driving around in horse carriages, wrecking and all type of stuff, just all up and down New Orleans, bro. He ain't even on the team, bro. Like, it's just crazy how different those guys is, but both of them got that man of God, moniker attached to them. But it just the difference is just crazy when it comes
The
to
difference is
embracing the
people
city.
that talk it and actually live it.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah. We got Justin Cash with another question. Said, how should the Saints approach free agency this year?
I mean, they can approach it however they want to. They ain't got no money. They should approach it as a team. Like, I would say this. I don't know. I don't know if what's the questions. What's the person who asked the question's name?
Justin Cash said, how should the
All right,
Saints
Justin
approach?
Cash. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you're black or white, fam. I can't see it. Let me tell you how black people roll when we ain't got no money. I'm hungry. I don't have a lot of money to make a meal. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take $10 and I'm gonna try to craft the best meal possible. I'm gonna go buy some rice. That's cheap and I can make a lot of it. I'm gonna go buy a vegetable. There might be cream corn, there might be whole corn, there might be some, French cut green beans, something to that effect. I'm gonna buy something cheap like that to go with it. Then I might buy something like smoked sausage, maybe some chicken or something, a basic meat group with it, a basic protein with it. And I'm gonna eat all that meal for at least a week. That is how black people have made it during the Great Depression and beyond. Because we would take the smallest meal possible, pork and beans and wieners, red beans and rice. This is how we were able to make these delicacies that everybody now spends all of this money on. We were able to make do just like that. So a $10 meal gonna stretch us all week long. That is how Mickey Loomis needs to approach free agency. I ain't got a lot of money. I got $10. I gotta make this shit last 1 week. That's how you approach free agency if you Mickey Loomis.
Yeah, boy. And depending on what city you in, if you buying eggs, you balling. That says a lot about the economy right now. But we here. We here. We got Jerry G says, will Mickey Loomis ever get fired?
No. In order for Mickey Loomis to get fired, somebody else has to be in charge of the team.
Okay.
For as much as I would love to tell everybody that next year, if Mickey Loomis don't get the hire right and Kellen Moore struggles, Gail gonna fire him, that's not gonna happen. It's not. How the Saints lose will depend on what happens.
Yeah, we got Justin Cash said, I'm black.
Well, then if Justin Black, then he already know how we make them struggle meals last. That's how Mickey Loomis got to approach the offseason. It's got to be a struggle meal type of thing. You got $10 on a food stamp card, and you got to make that shit stretch. You know what's happening there. I ain't got to tell you how we do it.
We got even the Falcons. We got 504 Coach says even the Falcons cutting Cousins. That shows at least they're trying to win. We sitting up here with a broken down car in the driveway.
Looking at it, telling ourselves it's gonna run right one day. If we just keep on putting money into it, eventually it's gonna run right.
We're gonna just soup it up right now. We're gonna get Giant Groove, we're gonna put some knives in it, we're gonna just soup it up, we're gonna change the all that. But we got Pablo Escobar says, do you see Paulson or Debo coming back or going to Chicago with DA?
I don't know if Chicago is the #1 destination, but I think it's going to be hard to bring him back because I don't think the Saints can afford to pay him #1 cornerback money, and that's what he is now. He's clearly the #1 cornerback. So if you're going to pay him, you got to pay him #1 corner money. There's a reason why Paulson and Debo dropping videos of him being able to run full speed now. You're going to have competition for him, and everybody around the league understands that when he's healthy, he's one of the better cornerbacks. If the Saints sign him, they're not going to be able to get away with one of those, let's give him a prove it deal. He ain't taking none of them because they got plenty of teams out there that he can prove it for. It don't have to be the Saints.
He dropped the video running full speed now already?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought his injury was way worse. Like one of them.
There's a video out there right now of him running full speed. I think he might have been on a treadmill or something like that. But he taking off.
Damn. Well, I do think he got that Nigerian in him or something. Maybe it's part of that with that type of recovery, but that's crazy. Like shit. I thought he had one of them type of injuries. Well, he was gonna be even injured coming into the new season. That's what I thought. But
I thought it was an ACL. I don't remember if it was an Achilles, but I want to say it might have been an ACL. In that case, man, like nowadays they doing that platelet stuff, man, to where they taking your blood out, putting it in the platelet machine, spinning it, putting it back in, so you can heal faster. I mean, do I think he'd be back this fast? No, but I still think it's going to be one of those injuries to where it's one of those situations he's going to be competition for, for the Saints, in order to re-sign him. I don't think he's just going to be easy to come back.
All right. Sure. If y'all got any questions for Brian, go ahead on and put your questions down in the chat below. We're gonna get to it as soon as possible. I'm gonna let them get up out of here soon. So if y'all got any questions, go ahead on and put them down in the chat below before we get up out of here. If y'all like the content, go ahead on and hit the like button. If y'all not subscribing, y'all like the channel, go ahead on and finally subscribe, man. Let's see. We got some other news with the team across the street. The team across the street, they making some headlines right now. They making some national news right now, and it's been official, man. The Pelicans have finally traded Brandon Ingram, man. They traded him to the north, man. He's going to Toronto. He's taking his talents up north. Some people are not excited about the trade. They feel like, we got finesse. Some people feel like we finessed the Raptors. What's your whole take on the trade?
I think the David Griffin got what he could get in a situation. So I know there's a lot of people that are mad at the trade. I think he traded Brandon Ingram way too late versus trading him earlier in the process. I think that's why he got back what he did. But in this situation, I understand what it is now. The Pelicans have finally looked at it and said, you know what? We need to rebuild. And that's what he got. He got Bruce Brown back. He got Kelly Olynyk. So he basically got back some cheap expiring contracts. That's all you were going to get for Brandon Ingram. At this point in the offseason, you make a trade for CJ McCollum, and you basically restart everything. What the Pelicans need to do now is they need to be that team. They need to follow Oklahoma City. They need to follow what the Spurs did at one time. They need to take a step back and say, you know what? We ain't going to be good. We know we ain't going to be good. But what we're going to do is we're going to let Trey Murphy develop. We're going to let Herb Jones develop. We're going to wait for DeJounte Murray to get healthy. Because right now we know DeJounte Murray ain't coming back no time soon. He's coming off an Achilles injury. He ain't about to be back at the start of next year. If they're lucky, he'll be back by All-Star break or right before. So we're looking at January as his possible return, if that. So what the Pelicans need to do is rebuild it, tear it down to the studs, trade Brandon, trade CJ, be one of those teams that say, you know what, we'll take on a bad contract if you give us a first-round pick. That's what Oklahoma City did. They took on a bunch of bad deals, but they stockpiled draft picks. Now Oklahoma City is the best team in the West, and they got like 21 draft picks in order to go with it. They could be major players if they want to, or they could just let their young guys develop and build through that. That is what the Pelicans are on the verge of trying to do now. Because when you look at it, from the Anthony Davis trade and a Drew Holiday trade, the Pelicans have absolutely nothing to show for it. And that's really sickening when you look at it.
What about Zion?
I think Zion is going to be the question, is going to be the multi-million-dollar question. When he's healthy, he's everything that you envision. He just ain't never healthy. They scared to let him play on back-to-backs to a point to where Zion just recently came out and said, it's not me saying I don't want to play back-to-backs. It's them telling me I can't. So at some point, the Pelicans going to have to take the training wheels off and let him go. But I understand it doesn't make sense to do it this year because you're going absolutely nowhere.
Is there a new head coach out there that you kind of having your eyes on if we were to fire Willie Green?
Anybody but Willie Green?
Well, shoot.
That man is not a good head coach. He's Dennis Allen on the basketball side of it. It doesn't matter who the Pelicans pick outside of him, they'll be better off. And I think the problem with it is everybody has the same mentality. Well, if you fire him, who the hell are you going to get to replace him? It don't even matter. If Kellen Moore is the hire, then we would have never saw that coming if everybody would have said, well, if you fire Dennis Allen, who you going to get? Well, the answer to the question is now Kellen Moore. If you fire Willie Green, who you going to get? We don't know yet. But what we know is Willie Green ain't it. So he got to go. And Willie Green might be a worse coach than Dennis Allen was.
Oh, boy. God damn, boy. That's a federal offense right there. I mean, right there, dog. Like I used to hate Dennis Allen, boy. I used to can't stand Dennis Allen. I tried to give Willie Green a little bit more leeway because I feel like injuries work a little bit different in basketball. Let me see this. Injuries alone.
Pelicans are a super injured team. And
Yeah,
it's only five players, and the Pelicans are top 8 heavy. So at one time, the Pelicans, for their salary purposes, were missing like their top 9 salaried players. They were missing CJ, they were missing DeJounte Murray, they were missing Zion, they were missing Brandon, they were missing Herb, they were missing Trey, they were missing Jose, and they were missing, oh man, who was it else at the time? It might have been like 2 other players or something like that that made up like their top 8 or 9 salaries, into which they weren't on the roster at the time, like they were injured. So I get it to a degree. Here's the problem. I don't give a damn if Willie Green had a fully healthy team. The man just ain't a good coach. He ain't it.
Injuries are not like certain calls and certain things you do in the midst of coaching that's going to supersede. Okay, if injuries are going on, like, are you just making the right sound decisions like that supersedes injuries. I'm trying to find something that I had seen. Oh, here you go right now. Now I don't know if this is accurate or not, but somebody said in their 5.5 seasons as teammates, Zion and Brandon Ingram played in 154 games together. And that's zero playoff games.
And here's what I can say to this. I know for this year that the Pelicans envisioning their start lineup with a CJ McCollum, a DeJounte Murray, a Zion, and a Brandon Ingram have not played one single game together. Not one. So I understand it's hard to win like that. The problem is that what I don't see from the team has nothing to do with the players that are there. Like, I don't see Willie Green being able to make adjustments. I don't see the team playing at a certain clip. Like, the one thing I will say this, if for those that were Pelicans fans, old Pelicans fans when they were the Hornets, and there was a time when you had like Dan Dickau and Speedy Claxton out there getting minutes and stuff like that for the Pelicans. The one thing I could say about them cats, man, is that they played hard. They were at least exciting to watch. This team is not. This team don't give a goddamn.
Mm-hmm. Do you think
they go out there and get blown out by 30 and not care at all?
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, to say CJ is leading the team in 3 points made in history of the team, that's crazy. That man just got here like 2-3 seasons ago or something like that, man. Like, how he already leading?
The problem with CJ is that he's soft as damn cotton candy. CJ might be a good veteran, but he's a horrible leader. And I think that's a big part of the problem. Like, the Pelicans don't have that tough-nosed veteran in the locker room. They don't have it. And they're never going to get one because that's not who they are. CJ is soft as cotton candy. And I can't wait till he gone either.
Well, one diamond in the rough right now is Trey Murphy. Like, that boy's putting up some buckets. We've been losing, but he's been a walking bucket as of late. He's been putting up 40. He's got more 40-point games than a lot of household names right now. And, if he's not putting up 40, he's getting close to 30 or he's getting around 30. So these last couple of games, he's just been shining. Like, do the team just go ahead on and just hope that we could get a Cooper flag and just build around Cooper flag and just let the running mates be Zion and Trey Murphy?
Yes, you built right now was the time. If Zion is going to be your guy moving forward, play Zion at the 5. Or play Zion at the 4, play Yves Missi at the 5, you play Cooper Flag at the 3, you play Trey at the 2, or something like that. Like, you try to make it work because you're going to have to figure it out. So you either play Zion at the 5 and you put him around a bunch of shooters. You put him around Cooper Flag, put him around Trey. You put him out there with Herb, and you got Herb and DeJounte Murray as your perimeter. Herb, DeJounte Murray, and Trey Murphy as your perimeter defense. You're going to be playing small, so you're going to have to take it in sometimes. We're going to take it on the chin. Because Cooper Flag and Zion is not exactly the best defenders. But the NBA is a small ball league anyway, so you might as well play like that. And then when you want to switch it up, you put Yves Missi out there, you got Jose to help out, and you build your bench up. Mm-hmm. That's the only way the Pelicans are going to be able to play. Otherwise, you're trading Zion when you get Cooper Flag. Because you can't play no other way but that way.
You say the Pelicans out there, they be playing like they don't give a damn. I'm starting to see a lot of NBA fans say that across the league. Do you think that's an era thing, or do you think that got something to do with sports betting? Sports betting has got way too commercialized. Like, you got players not wanting to play in back-to-backs. Like, you got the GM talking about, you got the owner talking about maybe lessening the minutes to 10-minute quarters. The ratings are low. A lot of threes getting jacked up. Like what's your common denominator to players not giving a damn and ratings being low in the NBA?
The NBA soft, they're spoiled, they're unskilled. And that's the difference between the NBA we grew up watching and the NBA right now. It's too much AAU basketball. Nobody wants to grind anymore. All these cats want to just link up and play together to make it as easy as possible so they can win, because if you win, the money come with it. And they don't want to grind for it. So therefore, you got a bunch of cats like Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is a hard-nosed player, no question. Jimmy Butler ain't worth all the noise that he's made over the last couple of months. He's just not worth that. But he got it anyway. So him acting like, throwing a temper tantrum and acting like a spoiled ass brat is what got him right where he wanted to be, with a team like the Golden State Warriors and a $120 million extension. Jimmy Butler don't deserve that kind of money, man. Jimmy Butler ain't about to make Golden State all of a sudden be the favorite to win the West, because I still think Denver gonna sweep them. So with that being said, it's like that's what the NBA is. The NBA is a bunch of cats that want to just ball out AAU style, jack up threes, play with a bunch of other, superstar teammates just like them. They unskilled. They can't play with their backs to the basket. They can't make a mid-range shot to save their life, because all they want to do is put up threes, and then they're not even that good at three-point shooting because they ain't spent enough time putting in the work to beat Steph Curry. People forgot Steph Curry was a great shooter, but he's also the son of an NBA shooter. And on top of that, Steph Curry broke both of his ankles when he was coming into the league. So he had to develop a shot. He had to.
When you say they don't have a good post, is that more so what they're getting brought up and raised on, like as far as coaching go, or is that something that they themselves are just not, wanting to do? They don't want to punch each other down in that paint.
It's both. The way of the NBA, they want to call it positionless basketball. What they basically playing is European basketball. There are no more big men that play big man style basketball. Like the Shaqs of the world are gone. You ain't getting that no more. Now you got to be Wemby in order for you to compete. You got to be Jokic in order to compete. You got to be a big man that not only can, play on the perimeter, but you also got to be able to pass and handle the basketball, because they want to play all five up and down style basketball, European style. That's why European players, at one time, a European player would come into the NBA and they would struggle, because they would have to get acclimated to the physicality of the NBA. They no longer have to do that. Now they can come into the NBA and instantly be successful, because the NBA is no longer as physical as it used to be. Now they're playing the same type of Euro basketball they used to. We just going to fly up and down the court. I can pass, I can dribble, I can shoot. Ball game. The NBA has become simplified, but it's also become unskilled.
And what's your take on the sports betting getting so popular now? Like social media, you're getting influencers, you're getting all these social media people and celebrities endorsing all these sports betting apps and stuff like that. Like, you think that
been around? Sports betting been around. The problem is now, by it being legalized and commercialized to a certain degree, it's made the players pay attention to it more. Because at one time, like what you seen what just happened with Terry Rozier, it's the idea of Terry Rozier should have had somebody that placed these bets for him, but he was too stupid, so he got caught up. It's the idea of Terry Rozier started point shaving, and that's the problem, because now at one time you would do it a smarter way. Now that it's commercialized, you feel like, man, well, hell, why I can't make no money off of me? Because you do goofy shit like go out there and bet the under, which means that now you're not putting up as many shots. You're messing with the integrity of the game. And I think does it play somewhat of a role in it? Absolutely plays a role in it. Does it play that type of role? Absolutely not, because sports betting been around. It's just that they had go-betweens before. Now everybody want to be stupid enough to do it in public, because this social media era has made it to where nobody hides the fact that they're doing dirt. Everybody want to not only do their dirt, but they want to show everybody that they're doing it. So you're telling on yourself like a dumbass.
Yeah, it got so popular. I remember when I was growing up, like, talking about parlays, overs and unders, money line. That was kind of like an underground thing. Like a lot of dudes ain't even know about it. It was kind of like, something. If you were just a real sports head, you'll kind of know about it and you'll like be placing them bets. But now you got people who got these apps and don't even watch sports. You got females making parlays and stuff, and they don't even know these players. They just getting lineups from different people. And when you just got that massive of people just doing this, you just got to think Vegas messing with something. You just got to think these players themselves messing with something. And, in turn, we get the product we getting.
I think that has a lot to do with it. I think it plays a role in it. I just don't think it's that. I don't think it's the biggest portion of it because them NBA players are taking a heartbeat, man. F your parlay. I don't care about your parlay. Like they'll openly say it nowadays.
Yeah.
But I also think that they're not skilled enough as they used to be. Like
Yeah.
the reason why they allegedly, it's been a rumor for the longest time. The reason why Michael Jordan's father passed away is because allegedly he was killed for a gambling debt. Like
Yeah.
that was a rumor a long time ago. And Michael Jordan is a notoriously bad gambler. That nigga would bet on anything. So it's like it's not that sports betting just come around. It's just that now the players are so open and so stupid because they're a younger generation and everything has to go on social media. They don't care as much.
Yeah. That's
And
why.
they're not good enough to not care.
Yeah, a lot of people say, man, the betting on the NBA way worse than the NFL. The only thing I can tell y'all is wait till the playoffs. Wait till the playoffs. Or just start to be disciplined. Only try to gamble on two days out the week, and that's it. Because right now it's getting to the point where I got so many family members in this, Brian. Like they gambling every day. They gambling every day. I didn't have people win thousands and lose them thousands. I'm talking about thousands, bands, and lose it. You'll be like, what? You were just up 15,000. You lost that? You gambled all that again? Because like when you get in that gambling, you the more you start to win, now you starting to bet more. You ain't placing them same low bets no more. You starting to place them higher bets. And then once you start losing, now you just chasing all that money that you lost and you trying to climb up out of hole. And that's how you get got right there. But man, before I let you get up out of here, man, go ahead on and tell the people where they can follow you at on your Twitter, and you can give me your last thoughts on two of our teams that we just love to that just work our nerves so much, man, and the Saints and Pelicans, man.
Man, you can find me on Twitter at Battle Rap Bets, all one word, Battle Rap Bets, all one word. Or you could just type in m.o.n.e.y and I'll pop back up, man. Other than that, man, when it comes to the Saints and Pelicans, look, I'm not gonna say I'm optimistic about what's the future of the New Orleans Saints, but at least there's a vision coming, coming somewhat to be in the picture. At least it looks like they're moving towards having a vision. What that vision is going to be, we don't know just yet, but at least they're moving towards having one. When it comes to the Pelicans, just start the rebuild. Let's not play around with it. Do it expeditiously. Just go ahead on, start selling off all your parts. They've already started with moving back Brandon Ingram. This offseason, the plan needs to be to move CJ McCollum. Just start from scratch, man. Rebuild it, and the fans will eventually catch on that this is what's happening. We understand why the Saints are trash. We understand why the Pelicans are trash. We can be patient if you tell us the truth.
And let them know when you're doing your next spaces, man. I think a lot of people they need to be aware about these spaces that you be doing, bro. You be letting everybody come in and voice their opinion on the team, and you be dropping so many gems, and everybody just be, anticipating you getting ready to open up them spaces so everybody could come in and listen up.
Yeah, man. Next Twitter Spaces is probably going to be after the Saints officially hired the head coach. Because look, it's one way or the other. Either you're going to announce Kellen Moore as the head coach, and we're going to have a lot to talk about, or Kellen Moore is going to tell him, you know what, I changed my mind, I don't want the job, in case we got a lot to talk about. So no matter what happens, whenever the Saints, whenever the Super Bowl is over, very likely, February 10th will be the next time we do a Spaces, if not somewhere in that neighborhood. February 10th, February 11th, we'll have some things to speak about.
All right, for sure, man. Appreciate for coming on the stream, bro. Dropping some gems. The people had, they loved you up in the comment section today, bro. Always good to have you on the stream, man.
Appreciate it, fam. Salute to everybody out there, man. Y'all be safe, be blessed. And of course, man, it's carnival time, man. It's Mardi Gras time. So if you're gonna be out there, drink responsibly and be safe.
Yeah, man. All day, man. Appreciate for coming back. Welcome back anytime, B.
You already know, fam. Salute.
All right. Yeah, man. Shouts out to B, man. And B be coming on the show. That man be at work and everything, and he still be coming and be dropping some gems for us. Y'all be having me rolling in the comment section, be having y'all laughing and things or whatnot. Shout out to T Dirty, man. He got a YouTube channel as well. If y'all like Saints content, go ahead on and follow and subscribe to T Dirty. This is his name right now in the comment section below. I got it highlighted. I think Jerry G, he also has a YouTube channel. Y'all go ahead on and follow him. He follows everybody channel. He shouts out everybody channel. He supports a lot of Saints platforms. So let's go ahead on and return a favor and go ahead and subscribe. But we're gonna have some more content coming soon. Everybody just waiting on the Super Bowl right now. I'm personally excited for this Super Bowl. I would like to see the Eagles win just because they got more tutties over there. I want to see the offense flourish. I want to see some good play calling. I want to see a master class get called by them. And, you know, I don't really too much care if the Chiefs win or not. Like, I know a lot of people that hating on the Chiefs. They the new Patriots right now. They just don't want to see that team win 3 times in a row. It gets aggravating. It gets annoying. I understand that. But at the end of the day, I don't really too much care if they win or not. I just want to see that offense for the Eagles do good. I want to see Kellen Moore put on a master class versus Spagnuolo's defense, which is an underrated defense. Like, when a lot of people talk about defense in the NFL, I don't think the Chiefs get mentioned enough. I think when you think about the Chiefs, the first thing you think about is Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce. Sometimes you might even think about a Taylor Swift, which is understandable. You got to think about all of them, but show some respect to that defense. What Spagnuolo is doing, I don't think it's getting appreciated enough. Spagnuolo is who y'all thought Dennis Allen was, to be honest. What Spagnuolo is doing over there is very special. We got Jerry G said that's a good thing about me, T Dirty. We don't gamble. Yeah, man. Y'all can gamble, man. Just gamble responsibly if you're doing it, man. Anything you're doing that got a positive and a negative to it, a risk versus reward, do it responsibly. T Dirty said, much love, my dog. Oh, any day, man. Any day. Yeah, man. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Y'all go ahead on and hit the like button if you like the content. Go ahead on and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And y'all be safe out there over the weekend. Y'all drink responsibly. Y'all have a good time at all y'all Super Bowl parties y'all gonna attend. Y'all make some good food, have some drinks with your family and loved ones, and just be safe out there, man. Make some good choices. And I'm out, man. Who that?
We living in the spotlight, hit that light. No cap, no filter, we take flight. Saints on the rise, got that energy. Tune in to our podcast, feel that synergy. New Orleans pride, we never fall. Subscribe to the vibes, we bombard. Subscribe, hit that bell, join the hype train. No cap, no filter, we breaking every chain. In the heart of the city, Saints reign supreme. Live a dream, we living it clean. Yo, we in Camaro, run that play. Crystal lava flying, making waves every day. Take some hills, switch it up, always on the go. Cam joining the fans, putting on a show. Doing Mario with time, bringing that heat. Shahid's got the speed, can't accept defeat. Subscribe, hit that bell, join the hype train. No cap, no filter, we breaking every chain. In the heart of the city, Saints reign supreme. Live the dream, we living it clean. So stay tuned. Don't miss this ride with the Saints by side, we take pride.